Good morning. Today we've driven 3 hours south of Brisbane and we're in a tiny little town called Wallangarra, and it's in the heart of the Granite Belt, right on the border of Queensland and New South Wales. In fact, it's so much on the border of Queensland and New South Wales that I'll show you something. That railway line there, that's Queensland. And this is New South Wales, the state of New South Wales. So, New South Wales, don't get my shorts in, and Queensland. Explain why they have 2 different sorts of railway tracks, like one for Queensland, one for New South Wales.
When the states were colonies, they were independent entities, so when decisions were made about building the railways, they could decide the gauge of the railways. Queensland decided on 3'6", which is like a narrow gauge. New South Wales was 4'8.5", and down in Victoria it was 5'3". So you had this absurd situation where all of the eastern states, every time you travelled to a new colony, you had to change trains because it was on a different gauge.
Do you know what else is really funny though? Check this out. Each state, like, so this is New South Wales and that's Queensland. Have a look at the station on the platform. They have different verandas. So this is the New South Wales platform, and this is the Queensland one, and they've both got different roofs. But the best thing about it now is that it's been made a railway museum and a cafe.
Museum and a cafe, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to go inside and have a look.
That's right.
Look how ornate. Isn't it beautiful? Look how ornate. It is so beautiful. Wow. There was so much excitement when the coastal railway line from Sydney to Brisbane opened in 1930 because the travel times were cut shorter. But this also led to the decline of the longer inland train route and Wallangarra itself. Look at all these staff that used to prepare meals every day for travellers. You know, the year after the new line was opened, the number of meals dropped from 37,000 to 5,700. How quaint is this? Look, there's even a little rug if you get cold. But it's pretty hot today. I've got my shorts on. It's not cold. So nice. It's like going back in time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looking at everything. This looks nice. Look at this.
It does.
Oh, haven't they done that nicely? Homemade. Delicious. It's really good.
What are they?
Vanilla slice. Very Australian. Homemade. Clotted cream. And they would be local strawberries too. They grow strawberries here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said to Paul, look, there's a nice big old country pub and maybe you can go and have a beer and we can have a counter meal. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? But, sorry Paul. This is the border, see? And they've put concrete barrier across the road and we're not allowed to go in there, and no beer or counter meal is worth a $66,000 fine. Sorry. After Wallangarra Railway Cafe, we take a short drive to Girraween National Park. We're at Girraween National Park and you can see there's some campers here. You're allowed to camp here for free. which is pretty good. It's a really nice camp setup, and it's a really large camping area, and you can see little families and groups and people. They're all kind of scattered in the bush in different areas, so which is really nice. So we're about to do one of the shorter tracks through the Girraween National Park, and it's the middle of the day. Probably bad time to go for a bushwalk really, but it's 1:45 in the afternoon. It's about 25 degrees. We've got our water, we've slipped on our shirt, we've slopped on our sunscreen, and we've slapped on our hats. So we're all ready, let's go. Good?
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, but
nice
the House
though.
of Granite.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think we'll see some more boulders up ahead.
Girraween, meaning place of flowers, is a park of massive granite outcrops and precariously balanced boulders, with spectacular wildflower displays splashing colour amongst the granite in the spring. It's on the Queensland-New South Wales border, 260 kilometres southwest of Brisbane, halfway between Stanthorpe and Tenterfield. How's that? It's called the Marble Arch. Look, a lizard. It's nice and cool.
So
It's shady and it has a breeze going through. Wow. That's what they're saying over here, it's a giant's masterpiece. Yeah, and here it says, over millions of years, a combination of natural forces, including water, wind and plants, have continued to sculpt the granite arch. Got our water from home again. We put orange in it today. Oops.
what do you think of the walk so far?
Good. It's been about 40 minutes. Can you see the fish? They're only little. Come in for your little tour. This is really nice. I've got to say, it smells fantastic because look over here. I've got a wood fire. Not that we need to use it, but they have plenty of wooden kindling out there, which is nice, but it's warm. We don't need that. But isn't this lovely? Look, they have another bed and they have a little couch. Here's our bed over here. And then come through here. So we're staying at the Granite Belt Brewery. That's a mouthful, isn't it? And the man was really lovely, really friendly when we checked in. And he gave us this little basket of local produce, so to go in the fridge. There's apple juice because, of course, Stanthorpe is really famous for their apple orchards. So there's some local apple juice. We've got some milk. Got some real coffee, got some cereal, some muesli, some local jam because there's a strawberry farm in Stanthorpe as well, or Stanthorpe apples, and there's a few butters in here, and I bet this is local fresh bread. Oh wow, that's fantastic. So, That looks like a nice loaf of bread. Here's our view. We're looking out into the bush and across to the vineyards. So to give you an idea, we paid $165 Australian to stay here for one night, and that includes that box of breakfast provisions. And if you stay 2 nights, it comes down a bit cheaper. It's $145 a night. So yeah, so I think that's not bad value, because it's actually school holidays in New South Wales at the moment, and we're very close to the New South Wales border. Some people can come from New South Wales into Queensland and come over the border, and so they can come and stay at a beautiful place like this. So I think it's good.
You can mix and match this one color. So, does ABCD? ABC on the pedal?
Good. What sort is it?
Irish red ale.
Apple cider. Oh, it's so nice. Would you like some?
I've had some, thanks.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really good. It doesn't taste like beer. How you going? That's good.
See the roof?
I did. I saw a kangaroo. It had a baby joey in its pouch.
Oh, that's the one with Joey.
Yeah, but it jumped away.
Yeah, it was a bit protected.
Join us next week as we pick the biggest and reddest strawberries. We taste delicious local cheeses. And is this Australia's biggest and best apple pie? Yum.